got our oven preheated to 350. I've got some dough on the ground, proofing a little bit because there's some warm air coming out of my oven right here. So I'm trying to get it a little bit risen. The dough had been in the fridge, so it was pretty cold and I needed it to rise, so that's why it's warming up right there. So those are my little pre-steps. What I do is I buy, when they have the 10 for 10 special at my local grocery store, I buy 10 of those little wheat pizza balls, throw them in my freezer, and then pretty much once a week or sometime or other, I don't feel like making something fancy, so I take out a pizza dough ball and unthaw it, and then for dinner we just have pizza, and it's really simple and easy and very cheap. So anyways, that's my advice to you, is have pizza dough balls on hand, because you never know when you could just whip out a taco pizza, or a regular pizza for that matter. Anyways, today we're making chicken taco pizza. It's one of my husband's favorite. Sometimes he requests it for his birthday, and he actually is the one that introduced me to it. So I'm going to tell you how he does it, and then we're going to eat it for dinner. So come along with me. First, we are going to fry up our chicken. You can make as much chicken as you want. This is one of those perfectly portioned packs. I got it on sale, and then there's like, I think, 2 or 3 tenderloins in there in this pack. So you could either do one big breast or whatever. If you want more meat on your pizza, obviously you can do more. I'm just doing that. I guess I need to tell you what other things we need. Oh, I forgot my beans. We need a can of beans. We need some salsa. We need some taco seasoning, which is over there. Some cheese. I've got mozzarella, half and half cheddar. Then whatever you want to make it be a taco pizza. So these things right here, bong, 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 and the beans are all going to be on the pizza cooking. And these things are things to top it with after. I've got my lime sauce from my last whatever I made that had lime sauce. Oh, the shrimp tacos. You put whatever you want because, you know, depending on what you like, what you have for your toppings. There you have it. Okay, back to the chicken, Bob. I'm adding to my pan a little bit of butter from my buttered thing. It has a few toast crumbs, but that's okay. We're going to do that. I've already snipped my chicken. You can see the long shredded. They're kind of like in little strips. So that's the way I like to put it on my taco, my pizza. So we're going to put that in there. And then I'm only going to use about half of this little taco, where is it? Taco seasoning mix. So I'm going to use half the water as well. So I'm going to stick the water in there and then put in about half the mix. So while it's cooking, it's kind of absorbing this little taco flavor. And so we're going to just make sure this chicken gets, you know, brown, or at least done, so it's not pink. While the taco meat is doing its thing, we'll keep an eye on it. This thing's about to burst out of the bag, so I'm going to open it up. I'll probably spray this just a little bit in the middle because it's a pretty new pan and it's still pretty non-stick. So I sprayed my pan. You can see the little spray bubbles. This thing is sticky as, so you're going to need a little bit of flour for your hands because we're going to want to work it out to a round pizza dough without it. See how it's like just sticking to my hands? Your hands will do much better if they're floured, and this is floured just a little bit. What I do is I like to hold it and kind of just let its own weight stretch it out. Am I in camera? No. I like to let it have its own weight and stretch it out. Kind of like this. See, I'm just kind of going around in a circle like this and letting it hang. Once it's stretched out pretty decently, I just flop it down in the pan and stretch it out a little more. Sometimes I do it really good, sometimes it's like really thin in areas, and sometimes it's a complete mess. But you just work with it. If it's really thick in one area, you can pinch off some and, you know, put it in an area that's thinner. It wasn't, but I just wanted to show you what you could do if you needed to. Anyways, it doesn't have to be the whole length of the pan. This is a pretty big pan, so this is good enough for me. Alright, perfecto felicidad. while the 8 minutes is baking. 8 minutes is baking. 8 minutes or not baking. My pizza dough is baking. I have a problem with English sometimes. Alright, I am just getting a can of refried beans. If you want to refry your own beans, then you must be from like Mexico. I've only done it one time, but they turned out absolutely delicious. And it's because my Mexican friend from Chihuahua told me how to do it, and they were absolutely delicious. Of course, we use real lard, so I'm sure it was really fattening. But anyway, so we have a bowl of just a can of beans. So to that, I have this jar of salsa. I'm only going to add a little bit until it looks like a yummy paste. Maybe like half cup, I don't know. I'm going to start with a little, and then you can always add more. There's that. I might add just a touch more, just to make it spreadable, not just a big lump of beans. So add a nice flavor. We're going to use this actually as like the red tomato sauce. It's going to be like the pizza sauce. Here's our 8-minute pizza. It's got a little bubble in it, but that's just fine. Now I'm going to be the pizza maker. And I could pop this little bubble if I wanted to. You can use the whole thing, or if you don't want to use the whole thing and you have some tortilla chips, you can eat them with some tortilla chips too while you're waiting. That's like a little bean dip. It's 2 in 1. It's an appetizer and a meal. Now I'm going to add my chicken, yummy chicken on my pizza. And I can use my hands if I want to spread it around, just to make sure it's not all in one big clump. All we have left before we bake it is our mozzarella cheese. I did about half a brick, and don't worry if it looks pretty sparse, because we're gonna add cheddar as a topping for our taco pizza, so we'll have plenty of cheese, so no worries there. Also, my husband likes as a topping any type of crushed up chips. So if you have like regular potato chips or Fritos, you can crush those up as well, just for a little bit of crunch on the top. There's an idea for you. I had this pizza cook for about 10 minutes, and there it is in all its glory. You're going to want to slice this before you top it, otherwise your toppings are going to fall off your pizza everywhere. I'm going to crush up some chips on it first, and then put a little bit more cheddar cheese, put a little bit of lettuce and tomatoes, some olives. Whoops, everything's coming off. A few purple onions, because that's what I like. And maybe a touch of that lime juice, that lime sauce. This was just lime and cilantro. And what else was in there? Yogurt, low-fat yogurt. So there it is.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yay.
I like the contrast of the warm of the pizza and the cold of the toppings. It's really good. And the crunch of the chips. It's really good too.
Yeah.
So you can really put any kind of chip on there. Fritos, Doritos, potato chips, tortilla chips, whatever you have that's crunchy. Onion straws, whatever you want to do.
That kind of sounds good.
It's good.
This is really good. Honestly, I could probably eat this 3 times a week and not get tired of it. So try some today. We'll see you next time on the Green Apple Home.